Let's now move on to the third and final efficiency ratio, inventory turnover, which shows the number of days that an item of stock is held by a business on average. For example, if the answer to the inventory turnover calculation is 10, this means that a business holds onto a piece of stock for 10 days on average before it's sold. Whether this figure is viewed as being good or being bad is dependent on the nature of the business and the types of products that a business sells. For example, a florist is likely to turn over inventory a lot quicker than a car dealership, but in general, businesses want this inventory turnover rate to be as low as possible because this means it's selling its stock much quicker to its customers. So the lower the amount of days it takes to turn over inventory on average, the better for the business. The inventory turnover ratio is calculated by dividing the average inventory by the cost of sales and multiplying the answer by 365. But these figures may not be given to you in the scenario, so you may need to calculate the average inventory figure and the cost of sales figure first before you can use them to complete the inventory turnover ratio. Let's take a look at an example of the inventory turnover ratio being calculated. Yes, you guessed it, we're helping Tom's Tops again. Last year, Tom's Tops had an opening inventory of £3,000, a closing inventory of £1,000, and the cost of sales was £40,000. Based on this information, what was the inventory turnover for Tom's Tops last year? If you want to, you can pause your screen now and have an attempt at the scenario on your own, or just wait a couple of seconds and follow me as I work through the example. Firstly, you need to locate the average inventory figure and the cost of sales figure. In this scenario, the cost of sales figure of £40,000 is given to you, but you aren't provided with the average inventory figure, and you need to calculate this before you can continue. The average inventory figure can be calculated by adding the opening inventory and the closing inventory together, then dividing the answer by 2. In this scenario, we have an opening inventory of £3,000 and a closing inventory of £1,000. So we need to add these figures together and divide them by 2, which gives you an answer in this scenario of £2,000. This is the average inventory figure that you've been looking for. All you need to do now is apply the inventory turnover formula, which is average inventory divided by the cost of sales multiplied by 365. So that's an average inventory of £2,000 divided by a cost of sales of £40,000 multiplied by 365, which equals 18.25, meaning that the business holds onto an item of stock for an average of 18.25 days.